Ok. Tenemos unos más entrando. Ok, Andrea, te encargas tú del... Ok. Ok, Claire. Everybody welcome. Bienvenidos. Pascal, how do you say that? Bienvenidos.
Yes, bienvenue, c'est ça.
Bienvenue.
Excellent. Bienvenue.
Welcome. Sí, señor, bienvenidos todos a nuestra sesión de DLI. Y vamos a hacer las presentaciones del día de hoy. We're going to present ourselves, so let's go with the first slide. Okay. Primero que nada, yo soy Melissa Redú, voy a estar siendo la facilitadora de las sesiones de kinder a segundo grado en español para todas las escuelas de DLI. Y bueno, son bienvenidos el día de hoy. Yo tengo un bachelor's en Elementary Education de Venezuela y tengo un master's in Elementary Education with a DLI concentration from Georgia State University. So I have a master's in Elementary Education with dual language immersion concentration from Georgia State University, and I have my DLI endorsement and an ESOL endorsement. All right. And then Andrea.
Hola, buenas tardes a todos. Yo soy Andrea Flores. Yo voy a ser la facilitadora de los PLCs de español de grados 3 a 5. Entonces, nosotros vamos a hablar un poquito más sobre cómo ayudar a los estudiantes con el habla, con la escritura. Y pues yo trabajo en Cobb County, yo soy maestra de 5º grado. Ahorita yo estoy enseñando español y inglés dentro de un salón. Y yo tengo también mi bachelor's en educación, perdón, no en educación, en psicología, y luego mi master's en educación. También estoy certificada para enseñar ESOL y DLI. I'm Andrea Flores. I will be the facilitator for the Spanish 3 through 5 DLI PLCs. I am a teacher in Cobb County, a 5th grade teacher. I'm currently teaching DLI in English and in Spanish, so I keep one class all day. And what else did I say in Spanish? Oh, I have a bachelor's in psychology and a master's in education, and I'm certified to teach ESOL and DLI as well.
Bonjour, I am Pascal Data. I think I will speak in English because I think I saw one French friend, so I don't want to, yes, I just saw one French friend. So I will be responsible for I will be facilitating the French DLI PLC from K to 5. And we would like today to make sure you will find in these PLC what you need. I have taught in immersion for the past 8 years and always in 1st grade.
Are you still here? Yeah, I'm in a meeting.
Is everything okay? So I am from Quebec. I speak French. I have my bachelor in education. I have a master in education and one in administration. And also I did my education specialist in here at Mercer. And I'm also ESOL and gifted and math endorsed. Which is, I think, important in immersion because we do a lot of math and we were talking about that before we started this meeting, that math can be a very difficult thing to teach in the language. So I think that will be one of the topics we will be discussing. So welcome and bienvenue.
Hi, guten Tag, hola, bonjour. My name is Claire Kaiser, and I am in charge of the K-5 DLI for all languages, which means anyone can attend it. Anyone can attend all of these sessions, but my sessions will be conducted in English so that participants from all languages can come. I'm originally from England, and I first taught dual language immersion in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm a German immersion teacher, and I taught there from 1993 to 2000, and I was the middle school lead teacher for the French, Japanese, and German programs. And then moved to Tennessee, and actually now I commute from Tennessee to North Georgia, where we have a German program and several Spanish immersion programs. I have my bachelor's, my master's, and my postgraduate education certificate. And one reason why we decided for all of us to meet together is that as we were talking, many of our topics overlapped. So we really wanted your input today, because, you know, as some people already mentioned, some topics that they're interested in presenting, we're all really dealing with the same issues. And so we want to hear from you, but we also want to say, these are the things that we feel like we could present information on that would be beneficial to all.
Andrea? Oh. Oh, no, it's on the screen. Claire, do you want to continue with this one?
Well, this one never got finished because I don't have your topics on here, so we'll have to
It's
add your
okay.
topics as we go. So like I said, a lot of these topics overlapped. So several of them we're talking about, you know, how do you promote use of the language, or how do you motivate students with the language? Some of them are talking about the fact that many of our programs, we teach language through math. So how do you include, you know, the 4 skills, listening, reading, speaking, and writing, in your math classroom? Several of them are talking about how can technology support your instruction in the classroom. So what we're going to do for the first part of this evening is just talk a little bit more in detail about some of the topics that each of us have selected. We then would like your feedback, and we can do that in several ways. At the end, we'll have an opportunity for us to just talk. We've got a fairly large group, so we'll have to discuss if we want to do breakout rooms or just talk as a whole group. But we also have a Padlet open for all of the topics that people are presenting on. So if I'm going to send that link in the chat here in a moment, and if you, as it's going through and one of us mentions a topic there, you're like, oh yes, this is a great topic, I have something to contribute on this, or I really want to hear about this, add it to the Padlet so that, you know, if we don't have enough time in this hour to share everybody's thoughts, at least it's on there.
And also, Claire, as you do that, I did want to let everybody know that these topics were chosen based on a survey that we sent out. You may not have been able to see it, or you may have missed it, and that's why we wanted to take this chance as well to give you the opportunity to share your thoughts. We felt that after seeing the survey responses, these were the topics that most of the I guess the surveyors were kind of responding with, like, this is what I want to learn most about. So definitely this is not set in stone. If there is something that as a group you feel that, you know, I would really like to learn about this, or I would like to or I really like this information, but I want to go deeper on another one, definitely please let us know. Definitely write it in the Padlet, or I think we have a spot for that as well, Claire.
Yes.
I don't, but I can add that. So what would that column be?
Other topics, maybe.
Yes, I'll add that. Thank you.
Suggested topics.
Also, we would like to hear your voices. If you have go to a conference and you saw and you know, a really good presentation, and you saw a really good session that you want us to, you know, contact the facilitator that did the presentation and all that, we are here to also help you on that. We are facilitators for this PLC, so we don't, you know, necessarily have to be the ones presenting, but we can also, you know, find out and inquire, you know, the help and support from other experts in the field. So if you have and you know somebody that you really want us to see if we can contact and invite, we will gladly do that. And you know, I attended the DOE conference in the summer, and it was really interesting, and I found a couple of teachers there that I really would love to contact to invite them to also come and do one of the sessions, because they were really good and interesting. So, you know, just let us know, and we will, you know, make sure to support you and help you with that. All right, so Andrea is going to present a little bit of what some of our sessions that she had the most. Let's see, Andrea.
Thank you. So during my presentation, I am going to speak all in Spanish. I included some of the translations. I think some of it is getting cut off though. But if you have any questions, if it's in English, if you wouldn't mind sending it in the chat, and Melissa, maybe you can help me out with answering those questions if I miss them. And then same thing, if in Spanish you have any questions as I'm presenting, definitely put in Spanish, if you can please put those in the Padlet. I think that would probably be the best option for that one. Or maybe we could do all of them in the Padlet. What do you think, Claire?
The Padlet's getting long, but I can definitely make another column for questions, and because we have a large group and not everybody's going to get to be able to speak. So I will add another column.
Awesome. And we're, you know, we're rolling, we're going with the flow. So yes. We just want to make sure we listen to everybody. We don't want to leave anybody out. All right. Bueno, entonces, como yo les dije, yo estoy facilitando las lecciones de grados 3 a 5 en español. La primera que yo quiero presentarles es estrategias para la instrucción en español. Eso es más que nada dirigido para las maestras o maestros nuevos dentro de DLI, específicamente para enseñar los diferentes temas en español. En la presentación puedo presentar un repaso de las estrategias compartidas en estos recursos. Tenemos the go-to strategies, scaffolding options for teachers of English language learners y también ELL strategies. He mirado que esas estrategias nos ayudan mucho en DLI y también he notado que es lo que he visto pasar en otros salones que sirve muy bien. Así que estoy juntando la información de estos dos libros y hacer una presentación con eso. También les voy a dar ejemplos de cómo usar estas estrategias dentro de las lecciones para cara a cara, los estudiantes que tenemos enfrente, y también virtual, porque sé que algunos condados todavía están haciendo el DLI virtualmente. Así que les quiero dar esos ejemplos. Y finalmente, ¿cómo practicar el idioma durante las lecciones de aprendizaje socioemocional? Creo que muchas veces nos enfocamos en el tema, en matemáticas, lectura y tal, pero luego, ¿qué pasa cuando un niño se siente mal, cuando no está feliz, cuando se siente enfermo? ¿Cómo podemos motivarlo a expresar sus sentimientos dentro del idioma de español? Para la colaboración, que sería la segunda parte, yo quiero saber qué piensan ustedes. Quiero que podamos trabajar juntos y pensar cómo podremos incorporar estas estrategias inmediatamente. Una de las cosas que miré en el cuestionario que mandamos es que la gente quería algo que podrían usar inmediatamente. No solamente escuchar o mirar un video, pero ¿qué puedo hacer mañana mismo? Entro a mi salón y cómo podría cambiarlo fácilmente. Así que platicaríamos sobre eso y finalmente, ¿cómo podrás incorporar estas estrategias en colaboración con el maestro asociado? Para los que trabajamos con el maestro de inglés, ¿cómo podemos practicar estas estrategias en los dos salones para que los estudiantes también puedan mirar ese reflejo, que es lo que deberíamos hacer en la práctica de DLI? Okay.
Esta es la
Las siguientes estrategias para motivar la práctica oral de idioma español. Sé que en general en DLI podemos ayudarlos a escribir, a leer, pero tratar de motivarlos a platicar, a practicar el idioma oral es muy difícil dentro del salón y luego en lugares como el recreo y cosas así. Así que estoy usando el libro de The Translanguaging Classroom. Este es un libro que estoy usando dentro de mi salón que me ha ayudado mucho a motivar a los estudiantes. Entonces, presentación, les explicaría lo que dicen ellos sobre la diferenciación y corrección de errores fosilizados y también cómo usar el translenguaje con los estudiantes en pareja. Esto es específicamente para 3 a 5, grados 3 a 5, porque ya para este punto los estudiantes ya se están como acoplando al español y le podemos dar un poquito más de estrategias un poquito más complicadas para que puedan usar ese español y el inglés conjunto en el cerebro. Durante la colaboración, platicaríamos cómo podrás incorporar estas estrategias, lo mismo, en colaboración con el maestro asociado y también cuáles recursos podrás incorporar para estas estrategias en tu salón. O sea, que no solamente, esto es buena idea, pero también estos recursos te ayudan a practicar el inglés y el español con tu pareja, con tu maestro asociado, o también si tienes en un salón, como yo, que yo enseño los 2 idiomas, ¿qué recursos uso yo que me ayuda con el translenguaje? Ok. La tercera es enseñando escritura en español. ¿Qué tipo de lecciones y recursos nos pueden ayudar para enseñar el grupo entero? Y también las estrategias como de rotación, como hacemos en matemáticas, pero también hacerlos dentro de lectura y escritura, y para poder encontrar formas de diferenciar entre los grupos. Este libro, el libro de estrategias de escritura, es el libro que voy a usar para esos recursos, como para el recurso principal. Entonces, si ustedes tienen alguna otra idea o otro recurso que les gusta mucho para escritura, me lo pueden mandar por correo o por mensaje y yo lo puedo agregar a mi lección. Para colaboración, similar. ¿Cómo podrás incorporar estas estrategias en colaboración con el maestro asociado? Y también, muy especial para mí, ¿cómo podrás incorporar estas estrategias inmediatamente en el salón? Ok. Y el último, este es más que nada mi pasión. Esto es para hablar sobre el desarrollo cerebral. ¿Qué es lo que pasa en el cerebro cuando uno aprende un segundo idioma? Creciendo yo aprendí 3 idiomas, inglés, español y francés. Y diré que eso me ha ayudado mucho en diferentes formas, no más en el idioma. Así que yo voy a usar este tiempo, si es lo que quiere el grupo, o sea, si quieren participar y aprender más, para poder presentar una revisión de la estructura del cerebro, las áreas fortalecidas al aprender un segundo idioma. Como dije anteriormente, mi bachelor's es en psicología, o sea que eso todavía es algo que me interesa mucho, de poder enseñar cómo está estructurado el cerebro y cómo nos ayuda con los idiomas. También los beneficios y áreas de fortaleza en personas que hablan varios idiomas, no nomás 2, sino a veces 3, 4, 5. Y en colaboración, platicar sobre cómo podrás incorporar esta información dentro de tus lecciones, cómo los estudiantes les daría beneficios saber esta información y también quién más podría beneficiarse con esta información, por ejemplo, los padres, otros maestros o los directores, dependiendo de la situación de cada quien. Y para mí esos serían los 4 temas que han sobresalido después de platicar con otros maestros y en mi experiencia personal. And that is it for me.
Okay, clear.
I caught most of that, Andrea. But you can tell that Andrea is passionate about those topics. So we've all sort of picked some topics that we feel like we have a passion for, an interest for, or some expertise in. And thanks, Andrea. So I just have 3 topics right now that I've selected. The first one is planning. In our district, we've been doing a lot of discussion about how to really maximize our time. When you share a classroom with another teacher, or share a group of students with another teachers, you want to make maximum use of that extra resource of your partner teacher, but you also sometimes you lose some time somewhere along the way. So we've been talking about how integrated units, thematic units, not only help deliver the content, but also have really great advantages for looking at language across the 2 languages, looking at how language works. One of the books we've been using is Teaching for Biliteracy, also that dual language instruction A to Z by Genesee. So that's one of the sessions that I think I would like to present on. The next one is this one. It's a little different. I'm in a German immersion program, and that's my school. Most of our teachers come from the middle and high school level, and they then start teaching elementary. And there are many strategies that middle and high school teachers use in the world language classroom that are very applicable to an elementary school classroom when you're trying to encourage students to learn and use the language. So I want to look at here in this session about, what are the comprehensible input strategies that can be really useful for a K-5 DLI program. But also, there are lots and lots of language and literacy strategies that we sometimes forget about that we can use and really make maximum use of to encourage students to use that language, to be able to apply it. And then my third session is that I'm looking at. I want to hear what you guys think about it. Is one that I think other people have already mentioned. Pascal mentioned that in her introduction. We teach through math. So how do you incorporate language as much as possible in the math classroom? Those are my 3.
Okay. Pascal?
Yes. So we can go to the next. Okay. So for me, it's just I have tons of questions. I love the absolute passion that Andrea showed. I think this is that thing that makes DLI teachers even more looking forward to try new things. I have tried different things, and I want to know what are the things that are useful for you. I want to know and why we don't have, since we are in, I'm a little subversive here, but since we are teaching a language, in my case it's French or in Spanish, why don't we have a curriculum for it? How come it's good? We will have a bank of things we can pick up from, or with times we develop enough material, but I always feel it's a little bit haphazard if you think of a vertical way of doing immersion. We start in kindergarten, we end up, in my case, we end up in 5th grade. Where is the consistency? For me, that's important. How do we find consistency through the grades? So that's one of the things I would like to discuss. I'm talking about here, how do you associate French vocabulary to math or science or social study? Because in a way you want to teach a language, but if you tell a child, okay, oh yes, you know French, but if you know to say addition, subtraction, find the common denominator, you will not be able to engage in a conversation. So how do we do both? How do we have FLA, which is the French language arts, and the rest of our studies, the rest of our topics? What assessment does your school use to evaluate language proficiency? Is it part of your, and that I'm very curious to know, is it part of your report card? Do you see in your report card, okay, this is what your child has reached, that's his level in math, this is level in social study. Do we have the language too? Do you have the Spanish there saying, okay, Spanish, he's at that level, or French, he's at that level, German, he's there? And if not, why? And if it is, how is it evaluated? What exam are we using to evaluate the proficiency? And like how do we show that? How do we grade it? So that these are my question for this part of the, like I would see that as one of the possible PLC we could do. And then we can go to the next slides, Melissa. Am I there?
Yes.
Melissa, the next, yes, thank you so much. So we are talking about technology. There's so many things, and I am not the best at that. I have colleagues that are doing fantastic things that are extremely engaging, and I would like for us to have platform to share that. And it can be, how can we do it for listening, speaking, reading, and writing? I think we can have a lot of material if we share it. I have here, I just put some example of, I cannot share it. That's why I cannot share. I will.
You can share if you want to. I can let you.
Yeah, we can, it could be.
Go ahead.
Okay. Where did it go? Okay. Screen, let me see. No, I don't have the right one. Just a second. So I will stop sharing. And it's, 1 second. It's things, though I should not, where is it? There, okay. Share. Where's my PLC? I will just try this, yes. Excuse me, this is a mess that I should have. I don't see it. Okay. It's not on this thing. Let me see if I can go back to mine. Okay, here. Voila. Can you see? Can we see,
yes.
Melissa? Yes,
yes.
Okay, thank you. Sorry for the, so what I wanted to show you is just that for different, okay, this is in French, but for different aspect of the language, how you can stimulate the interest of the student to listen. There's tons of things on YouTube. You can do Loom, you can do, and you can have your child do independent work. That's what I like, but still be actively engaged in either speaking or listening or reading. There are ways to see it. Also, I have this beautiful, I need to show you this just because it's too cool. I presented that before, but there is, for example, here it's a story. that is extremely simple, made with hands. But it's in French, it's animals, it's extremely visual, it's written. I don't know if you can hear it.
You didn't share the audio.
Okay. It's one sentence per character, and it's clear, and it's amazing what impact it has on children. So I am a little biased by certain technology like that, and I would like to share. So there is that for listening and reading, as well as for speaking. Also, they can record. There's many things we can do now. There is a Flipgrid where they can record themselves, and we can, like, it's very useful, and it's less intimidating if you do it in front of your iPad or in front of your Chromebook than if you do it in a classroom. So I think that would be I would love to have a forum. I would love to do a PLC where we share all our resources, and we can give examples as well at what we do. Okay, I'm done. I'm sorry.
Yeah, merci.
Yes.
Okay. And now the little ones. So, para el español en el nivel que kinder a segundo grado, queremos ofrecer estrategias para la instrucción en español, estrategias que son más efectivas para los más pequeños, ir buscando cuáles son las que mejor se acercan a eso y cuáles son las que fomentan el desarrollo de los 4 dominios, que son lectura, escritura, listening, speaking, reading and writing. También, entonces, cómo los podemos incorporar en estas estrategias dentro del salón de clase y cómo son efectivas, o sea, cómo mantener la efectividad y cómo va a ayudar a que la base de kinder a segundo grado sea una base sólida para poder continuar con el programa efectivamente al tercero y los demás grados. De igual forma, el uso de tecnología, sobre todo a esa edad, porque sabemos que esa edad todavía trae mucho lo que es la parte visual, audiovisual y todas esas interacciones que tienen los niños, pero también utilizar la tecnología de la manera más efectiva para mantener también en control de esos 4 dominios que tenemos que tener y que fomentar en nuestros alumnos. Entonces tenemos que buscar y encontrar cuáles son las mejores aplicaciones que podemos utilizar para desarrollar estos 4 dominios en el salón de clases de kinder a segundo grado. Incluso si tenemos maestras de pre-kinder, por supuesto que son bienvenidas, así que disculpen que a veces decimos nada más desde kinder, pero pre-kinder siempre está bienvenido. También tenemos, bueno, estas aplicaciones que ayudan a los estudiantes de inmersión dual. Tenemos muchas aplicaciones que también, lamentablemente, tienen que ser compradas o, tienen que ser gastar de inversión los distritos escolares donde nosotros trabajamos, pero también nosotros somos las voces del programa, así que también tenemos que poner nuestras voces y decir, ok, estas son las aplicaciones que más se han escuchado en los otros distritos escolares, por favor vamos a prestarle atención a este tipo de aplicaciones que hay una inversión que realizarse, pero obviamente son entonces alineadas a lo que necesitamos más para nuestros alumnos de inmersión dual. Y también cómo alinear estas aplicaciones a nuestros objetivos, ver los objetivos que nosotros tenemos que cubrir en cada nivel y ver los niveles que nuestros alumnos poseen en los dominios y cuáles son los niveles que ellos tienen de proficiencia en el idioma para poder adaptar estas aplicaciones de manera adecuada para ellos. Entonces, ¿cómo las vamos a hacer y cómo van a ser efectivas para ellos en el salón de clase? Y una conexión que tenemos con la tecnología es que podemos tener una conexión con la escuela y la casa, entonces es importante que mantengamos esa colaboración dentro de la escuela con la casa y enseñarle a los niños cómo utilizarlas adecuadamente en la escuela para que después puedan ir a la casa y continuar y reforzar su aprendizaje, ¿verdad? Y también las estrategias de lectura y escritura en español. Sabemos que siempre aprender a leer y escribir es totalmente distinto en español que en cualquier otro idioma, y que las estrategias y las técnicas que tenemos en español son son distintas a las que hemos aprendido en inglés o a las que tenemos aquí, y tenemos que aprender a hacer voz de que la forma en que nosotros enseñamos nuestra lectura en español es distinto a la forma que se enseña en inglés, y tenemos que estar ávidas en saber lo que nosotros necesitamos para poder enseñar la lectura y la escritura en español. Entonces vamos a revisar también estrategias también del libro de Ceraballo y también de otros libros y de otras sesiones que hemos compartido para que podamos colaborar en eso. Los beneficios y desafíos que tenemos también al desarrollar el vocabulario a esta edad. Muchos de nuestros alumnos a veces tienen muy poca comprensión lectora y porque apenas están aprendiendo el idioma, entonces es un desafío para nosotros poder enseñar la lectura y confirmar la comprensión lectora, porque nuestros alumnos no tienen ese nivel de vocabulario que nosotros esperamos que deberían de tener, y muchos de los recursos que tenemos a veces no están al nivel de lo que es el grado para nosotros, que pensamos que, ok, tengo un material de kinder, pero de primer grado, de segundo grado, pero a veces el material es mucho más elevado que lo que nuestros alumnos de verdad son capaces de hacer. Entonces, ¿cómo podemos hacer para buscar, para aliviar esos desafíos que nos encontramos también? Y recursos y metodologías que sirvan, que sean de utilidad para reforzar esta lectura y la escritura. No solamente es sentarse a leer, practicar la lectura unos minutos y después continuar, sino buscar cómo hacer y cómo incorporar otros recursos y otras metodologías durante el día de clase para que los alumnos continúen reforzando la lectura y la escritura. Y esa misma colaboración que vamos a tener es qué aplicaciones van a ser efectivas y que han sido efectivas para cómo la vamos a aplicar para que sea efectiva en el salón de clase, y esa misma conexión que vamos a tener entre la escuela y la casa, porque si no practicamos en la casa, no vamos a lograr que nuestros alumnos sigan mejorando. Por eso es que tenemos tantas gaps al final de los veranos, ¿verdad? Ok, entonces, now Claire, you're the lead, because you're the English one, in general. Oh, you're muted.
You're muted.
Thank you. We have about 18 people on our Zoom, so I guess we have to make a decision. To me, I think if we pulled up the Padlet and showed it and just talked as a group, I don't know that we need the breakout session. Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
So we were kind of going back and forth about the questions we wanted to ask you guys. You guys are the most important participants right here today, because we want to hear what you have to say. I've lost the questions. Let me find the questions again. So what are your thoughts about the topics that we just presented, that each of us presented? What are you looking to learn about most during these PLCs? I mean, you're volunteering your time here. We want to make sure we're addressing issues that are of interest and concern to you. And what questions do you have that you're sitting there in your classroom every week trying to figure things out that we can help you with, that these PLCs can help you with, the next week when you're in your classroom? So we're trying to make our topics practical, but also relevant to your situation.
I think anything with the use of technology in order to enhance the time limitations would be very welcome, especially something that kids could do
Melissa,
on their own.
The Padlet back up now. So you're saying technology?
Yeah, use of technology to reinforce listening, speaking. But honestly, all the topics you mentioned were I thought they were all interesting. I mean, I think it would be really hard to pick, and certainly each of them would be valuable.
Thank you.
And I think also just to piggyback on that, maybe also, and I know we all collaborate together, but perhaps having some resources for parents to work on the language. I know in some cases, some schools don't have Spanish speakers as a home language. So then we're stuck with, parents getting tutors, which is great, or not having the ability to do that. But if there's a website or an app that's kind of user-friendly, and I think vice versa, right? Maybe for the Spanish-speaking families to kind of just incorporate the home language and then how the vocabulary is incorporated at school. So we're all kind of just tied together.
Yeah, I just added that as an extra topic. I think that's a good suggestion.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you.
And that link to the Padlet, it should be in the chat if you haven't seen it yet. The best way, because what we're seeing here is only one part of the Padlet, because we have 12 suggested topics, actually maybe 13. And this, obviously, if you're watching this as a recording afterwards, I'm going to try to send the link or add the link out as well right next to the recording link, so that we can still add some comments to it after the fact.
I'm also writing down any of the suggestions that are coming from our guests today. If you're telling us verbally, I am writing them down so that we can then go back and discuss them and put them into our topics.
Yeah, and I saw that somebody was talking also about the format, and I think it's important, the formula we use, are we using a whole day? Are you using half a day? Are you using, I've heard pancake, roller coaster, and like half a, that makes a difference. And I agree. I mean, I've done half days before, and I've done full day, and clearly with a full day, you have much more time to use the language and much more time to do the FLE, like the French language art. If you were doing half day, you never have time. It's always the transition how long, except for Andrea, who has her, she does both. She does the English and the French herself. So that's a different thing. But otherwise, if you have a partner, it's complicated. It's, the format makes a difference too.
Hello, everyone.
Hey.
Thank you for a wonderful presentation and amount of resources that we will be getting. I'm also interested in getting ideas on how to immerse our students into the culture and language outside the school building. I think about field trips. I think about places in our communities that we could refer our students to or take them to, so that it's not just the language that we as an instructor provide in the classroom, but itself the whole culture that they can be involved in. I think that we don't see a good level of language proficiency because we are limiting our students only to the resources that we provide to them in the building, in the schools, in the classroom. So outside our community, Georgia is a very diverse place, and a lot of places are that can, give that extra support that we need.
I love that. That's a great idea.
Yeah,
like you just made my mind like working 100 miles per hour, because I'm like, wow, we can contact a lot of people to see like the puppetry theater and other museums and all that, to see if they can create sessions in Spanish for our students.
I spent like 5 hours in el Teatro Aurora trying to look for a play or something to take my students to, and I couldn't find something appropriate for them. Maybe we need to reach out to them. I think about Plaza Fiesta. I think about, different places here in Georgia that we could take them to and provide that information to our families.
Yes, wonderful. Thank you, Daisy. Okay.
One of them is that cross-cultural competence. And we need to be addressing that. How do we integrate that into our classes?
Yes, wonderful, Daisy. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
What else, guys?
Got lots of good comments in the chat, Daisy.
All right, so we have 10 more minutes, and one of the things that we want to do before we wrap up is to decide what are the best times and days of the week, also for these PLCs, because we all are, cutting traffic, cutting a lot of faculty meetings all the time, and we're very flexible to figure out what, and especially because we don't want to overlap any of the four of us, because Claire, Andrea, myself, and Pascal have wonderful sessions that even if we are not in kindergarten or kindergarten, first, second grade, we could attend the other ones. Because I've seen, and stay tuned on the Georgia DOE page, because even for the German sessions and the world language teachers and all that, they're posting so many wonderful sessions that I'm like, I want to attend that one. So it's really important that we all, keep an eye on those, but we want to make sure that we do not overlap each other, and we want to be present for all of them. So we would like to create a poll right now, so you guys can have the first, we had some votes and decisions that they gave us on our surveys, but we want to also give you the opportunity that you were here to be the ones, helping us decide what days are better for you. So we're going to send right now hopefully the first question that it says, what days of the week do you prefer for the PLCs, and qué días prefieren para el PLC? Lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, o viernes. I think I whisper viernes because sometimes we don't want to go and get caught on a Friday, but it's there for you to decide.
So we will, but
yes. Tuesdays are winning.
Seems like 4:30 is pretty good so far.
Oh, we have the times there too. Good job.
Of course, we're skewing this a little bit because everybody that showed up today, Tuesday works for them.
Of course.
And we appreciate you here too. Okay.
That's so true.
The what? The Tuesday decision?
Yes.
Well,
All right. Looks like everybody's in.
there you go. Thank you so much. So we will honor your times, and we will try to make sure that, our following sessions are going to be on Tuesdays at 4:30. And just remember that we're going to be also recording them and having them uploaded in the World Language DOE page. And Mr. Patrick Wallace have been updating those sessions. So if you haven't, follow him on Facebook and I think LinkedIn, and what's the other one, Twitter, he's there posting for all of us. So make sure that you follow him and see, all our sessions there. So let's see, Claire, anything else that we want to?
I was just looking at the Padlet, and there aren't any questions I don't think that we need to address right now.
And I just said nobody voted for Friday, so thank you.
Thank you.
We are.
We really appreciate it.
I would like to say that we're planning on coordinating this together. So although there is a K2 Spanish, a 3-5 Spanish, a K-5 French, a K-5 English, I guess, presented in English. We're trying to provide sessions that are accessible to all. And if Melissa has done a really fantastic session, they're all going to be fantastic, Melissa. But, you know, say Melissa's done a session that everybody thought, oh, this is really wonderful. I'm going to say to Melissa, could you come do that in English as well? So that, and, you know, so that everybody gets to hear it and have access to it. So we're trying to really set these up so that they hit all of the key points that you guys want and are accessible to all.
And, you know, stay tuned because we might also send you some new surveys about applications and things that you might want to know. Because, you know, if you want to learn more about Flipgrid that Pascal said, or Nearpod, or if you want to learn about, I know about the boom cards, you know, how to create boom cards, how to create, you know, how to use Google Classroom better, how to benefit for doing forms, all those things, you know, let us know so we can work on that. And either one of us, you know, will create one of those sessions for you in any language. I'll help you, Pascal, in French. But yeah, let us know, you know, any other ideas that you have. And, you know, some of those applications, as I said, might be, you know, that we need subscription for them and all that, but we are in districts that we can get the support for those things. And I have tell teachers, ask your principals, ask somebody, you know, your parents or somebody to fund you, and they will fund those applications for you. So do not feel that, oh, it has a subscription, I cannot use it, because we are looking for things that are going to ease our instructions. So we need to look for quality things that are going to help us.
And often you're thinking, you know, it's worth it. You don't have to reinvent the wheel every lessons you do. So like it's for me too, like I've used a lot of things that you pay for, but I mean, it's made, it's there, and it's, you know, it can be helpful too, of course. And I think for me, I think that when we will meet in our second PLC, it will be the one that will guide the follow-up ones. I'm thinking like the topic we will have is all of the things we have discussed today. I think that we need to revisit, and then we can focus on one in particular. I like what Melissa is saying, like if it's at a level, or if it's practical, is it technical, is it something you want like that, we'll go on that, or is it ideas you want to discuss, or is it like research that has been done and that's the way to go, or like we need to be really using your own pulse to create the life of these PLC. Otherwise, it's you know, like it's really a collaboration. I want us to have that would be important.
And keep contacting us, because you know, we can adjust for you. So let us know anything that you need. So anybody else have any other questions?
We are so happy.
Saludos.
Teo,
Gracias. I'm gonna
escuela. Cuando estuve trabajando como substitute teacher, ahorita soy maestro, estoy permisado y estoy en el proceso de certificar. Aquí hay World Language Academy, que son dual language, pero los otros son de immersion. Cuando salen del elementary school, van a una middle school donde no hay muchas veces el immersion, ¿ok? La inmersión de los dos idiomas. ¿A dónde van estos muchachos que me gustaría que aprendieran? Es decir, yo tengo prácticamente una preocupación. En mi casa sí se hablan dos idiomas y hasta un tercer idioma, porque me propuse eso. Pero ¿dónde va esa gente? ¿Dónde van esos niños? Yo quisiera, me fascinaría que continuaran. Y tengo unos alumnos que son extraordinarios, inteligentes, tan inteligentes que son mis profesores de inglés.
Wow. Y o sea, que terminan hasta 8º grado.
No, ellos van allí hasta el quinto grado.
Hasta el 5º, y de allí no siguen a
Ellos siguen a la middle school, pero no sé si van a ir
¿En qué condado estás?
en DeKalb County.
Ah, no, sí, porque ellos tienen middle school también.
Ah,
Ellos
extraordinario.
tienen middle school y después terminan hasta high school, así que sí.
Gracias, muchas gracias.
De nada.
Y creo que ahorita nomás estamos,
Sí.
perdón, en DeKalb County ahorita estamos hasta 6º grado también. Sé que en DeKalb County and Globe Academy, I'm gonna speak English real quick, Miss Pascal. When they're learning the language, they still go on to like 8th grade or something, learning in immersion. Siguen hasta el 8º grado.
Sorry, we have immersion, like one day in French, one day in English, or one day in Spanish, one day in English, until 5th grade. But at 6th grade, it's 1 hour a day. It changes.
Entonces, si siguen de alguna forma u otra, van siguiendo el paso, pues.
Sí, yo entiendo el inglés, afortunadamente. Lo que es que se me enredan las conexiones. Y
Claro.
estoy en eso.
Pero eso, bueno, me importa muy bien.
Con el
Gracias
tiempo.
Sí, señor. Poco a poco.
Amén. Thank you.
Sí.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. If you have any other questions, please email us, or even on the Padlet, just put them on there. And I guess we'll see everybody.
Yes, and we're
For
going
the
to hang
next
here
one,
if you
for the
need us
next
for a couple of
PLC.
minutes. Yes, we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming.